I now invite on stage Mr. Sunny Kuruvilla with the souvenirs and request Dr. Krishnaswamy Kasturirangan to distribute them.
I call Dr. Nabeen Patnaik and Upasana Arora ji also on the dais to just share this moment of releasing the souvenir. Dr. Nabeen Patnaik is our Vice President of KAHO and Upasana Arora ji is the Treasurer, the Finance Director. Please. Please.
I now request Dr. Vijay Agarwal to hand over the mementos.
Good morning, friends. At the outset, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank all of you who have graced this occasion. We are truly humbled by the presence of all of you here. Nearly the hall is full. It's plus 500 is the registration, which is a landmark registration in the quality journey. When this conference was given to us to Bangalore, we were told that we need to set a new benchmark. I'm sure we didn't let the KAHO down in getting it done. I would like to thank our honorable chief guest of today, Dr. Kasturirangan, in spite of his very, very busy schedule, took his time off and came all the way to address this gathering. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee, I'd like to put it on the record our deepest appreciation for this. And we had our WHO representative. She came all the way, Papaya. Thank you very much for giving your thoughts on quality journey in our country. We appreciate it. I think NABH and NABL have almost given a complete support to the KAHO activities right from this inception. The very presence of the chiefs of these two organizations, Dr. Kalra and Dr. Elia here, has made this occasion very important and very fruitful to the participants. I thank you very much, sir. Next, coming to the organizing committee, I think I owe them that these are the people who really, really made this event to this extent today, especially Dr. Sahadullah, who is our chairman. Normally, chairmans don't actively participate into the nitty-gritty of the events. For the first time, I have seen a chairman who was willing to roll up his sleeve and get into the action when it needed. Thank you very much for the leadership, sir. In addition to that, we had Dr. Murli, Lalu Joseph, Dr. Banali Das, Mrs. Upasana Arora, Dr. Anand, Dr. Ventesh Tupel, Dr. Narendranath, Dr. Shanmuganandan, Sunny Kuruvilla. Then we had a complete support of the Cabo Central Office, Alex Thomas, Dr. Alex, who stood with us all throughout, Dr. Nabeen Patnaik, and Dr. Vijay Agarwal was there from beginning to end. Then Dr. Amit Tomar, who is the general manager working for the CAHO, who stood with us. And Paniel, who is our event partner, gave a great support. I'll be failing in my duty if I don't tell the sponsors who generously came forward and supported our cause, including many of the organizations. The names are mentioned, and again in the valedictory we are going to recognize them. So for the need of the time, because our sessions need to start, I will skip individual names in this. Also, we had invited quite a bit of guests for this thing, the people who matter in the healthcare industry, and they have come in huge numbers. They have accepted our invitation and landed, and I thank on behalf of the organizing committee all of their presence here. And also the FANA Executive Committee, which has come in full strength, the Private Hospitals Association, which is participating actively in this. I thank them for attending. And no conference can be successful without very good speakers with very important topics that we have put in today for the next 2 days, both on the lab side and the hospital side. And on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank all the speakers who have graciously accepted our invitation and come here. And the chairpersons, these are the people who will hold the sessions in context of the subject matter and also the timelines. I also thank all the chairpersons who have agreed our things. At the outset, the Hotel Ashoka, and also to the audiovisual people and the press people who have given us their presence of time here, thank you very much. On behalf of the organizing committee, I thank one and all who made this a great occasion, especially the delegates. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
The session will now break for tea for 15 minutes. I kindly request the delegates to visit the stalls stationed outside the auditorium. Tea will be served in the station partition on the other side of the partition. Thank you.
Moving on to the next session, I would like to invite the chairpersons on stage. I would like to invite Dr. K.K. Kalra and Dr. Harish Pillai on stage. Dr. Kalra and Dr. Harish Pillai. As you all know, the backbone for this conference and for the quality movement as far as healthcare is concerned is from NABH, and Dr. Kalra is the CEO of this organization. And in addition to being a pediatrician of repute and heading one of the large public hospitals, which was one of the first public hospitals in the country to go for NABH. So his quality journey had started from then, and after taking over as CEO of NABH, he has introduced a lot of programs, and the number of accredited hospitals in various forms have at least more than tripled in the last few years, where he has taken. And he has also introduced a lot of new programs, new innovations into the accreditation process. And as all of you would be aware, the new 4th edition of NABH standard has come, and he has personally ensured that every bit of this edition has to be where it has to be. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of CAHOCON. Dr. Harish Pillai, I'm seeing him after 25 years. He was 1 year senior to me in medical school. He is the group CEO for Aster in charge of Kerala. And I'm sure all of you would have heard about the Aster Hospital in Cochin, which is one of its kind in that region. And in addition to being an astute administrator, quality is one of his passion. Welcome both of you, to KahoCon, and over to you to conduct the session, sir.
Request all the audience, please. We are going to start the next session. Good morning to all. Just still transition phase, we can still say morning. So, first of all, I express my sincere thanks to the organizers for inviting me to this conclave. In the morning, the first session, we heard about the need for quality and accreditation and the role of NABH, where NABH stands today. Now, this session is very, very relevant with the theme of the conclave, quality beyond accreditation. The certificate which being handed over to the hospitals for accreditation, there are two ways. The main objective of certificate is to further sustain and enhance the quality. But we have seen sometimes the certificate is just hanged on the wall and it's more of a paperwork. That is not the major objective. How we can now further enhance the quality after getting certification, because we all know getting a certificate of accreditation is not an end point, rather it is the beginning of a quality journey. Lots more to be done to further enhance whatever the minimum standards we have set in to get the certificate, and the organization has to demonstrate a continuous improvement in the quality. Now, in this session, we'll share the experiences of two eminent speakers, and then we'll discuss and how things can be done, how quality can be sustained, and further we can enhance in accredited hospitals. And besides the accreditation, another challenge, because our accreditation activities is by and large is confined to majority of the hospitals in the metros. What about our major healthcare facilities which are in the non-metros or the rural areas? Affordability is a big concern. And Dr. Sunil is one of the panelists. Dr. Sunil is Director CMC Vellore and Professor and former Head of Department of Cardiology CMC Vellore. Yes, yes. He's cardiologist. He's done DM Cardiology, Fellow College of Royals, FRCP and MPhil. He's also got award, Kutumbia Gold Medal in Medicine from R.V. Rajan University and Best Teacher Award 2010 from CMC Vellore. He has been also keen involved in research, and he's done a lot of research in intrathecal steroids in the tetanus, pulmonary hypertension, heart failure, modified dobutamine therapy, and soft HR in medical human resource. The second speaker of this session is Dr. Anupam Sibal. He is Group Medical Director, Apollo Hospital Group, the Senior Pediatric Gastroenterologist and Hepatologist in the Apollo Hospital. He is MD in FIMSA, FIAP, FRCP Glasgow, and FRCP London. Helped set up the first successful liver transplant program in India in 1998 at Apollo Hospitals. In 2015, near 1,547 solid organ transplants were performed in the Apollo group. Professor Sibbal was appointed as honorary clinical professor at Macquarie University, Sydney, Australia in May 2015, and Professor Sibbal is a member of Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister's Advisory Committee. He served as an adjunct professor in pediatrics, School of Medicine, University of Queensland, Brisbane, Australia from 2009 to 2015. He served as a member of Institute Body of Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh from 2009 to 2014. Now I will hand over to my team member, Dr. Harish Pillai, to take forward.
Thanks, Doc. Firstly, good afternoon to all of you. I just want to say the difference between Dr. Kalra and me. The first difference is Dr. Kalra represents the National Accreditation Board, and I come from the provider side. You all already met the great Giridhar Gyaniji, and I normally do like this, for Giridhar Gyaniji, because truly he's the guru, the quality guru for our country. You can, when you look at the history of quality movement in our country, there is no doubt that people like, especially icons like Gyaniji would be written in golden letters. Some of us, when we were, especially in late 90s, when we were looking at how do we compete with the rest of the world, at that time, the only aspect which we could think about is the Joint Commission International, which had some kind of acceptance and credibility world over. But post NABH, it's been kind of a revolution. You have, Dr. Kalra was just mentioning that we have more than 300 plus accredited hospitals across the country, north, south, east, west, and the movement is picking on. What is more heartening is it's not just the private sector, it's the public sector hospitals which are also stepping up pace. So, to use the most popular icon, Aam Aadmi, what's the impact for the Aam Aadmi? Aam Aadmi has, you talk about Roti Kapda Makan, but I would like to add one more thing, Roti Kapda Makan and also healthcare. That's a fundamental right of our citizens. So a system and the revolution of changing mindsets, that is what the quality movement is all about. I have two esteemed colleagues with me, and their introductions have already made. When you talk about Doc Sunil, all of us in healthcare, we say hats off to Vellore, CMC Vellore. And when you see a Vellorian, you also say, oh, okay, he's from Vellore. So there is a certain degree of pedigree which Vellorians come about. And you go to Vellore and again, you get goosebumps what Edda Skudder has achieved in basically a scrubland. It's just a scrubland, and Edda Skudder has created an institution of world repute. So Vellorians, wherever they go, they are more of a tribal kind of a setup. All Vellorians hang out together and they bring a certain class of excellence. But their excellence is even more important in an Indian context because they always talk about sustainable healthcare. How can you ensure good quality healthcare at affordable prices? You go into Vellore and typically you see that Vellore from a business point of view is a well-run institution, no issues of cash flow funding, and they eloquently practice cross-subsidization, that people who can afford high-quality care, they pay a premium price tag, but the great majority get that excellent service at almost throwaway prices. So that's something which we hope to hear from Doc Sunil. Anupam and I, we go a long way. We're old friends. Anupam was probably one of the first people when Apollo went to Delhi at Sarita Vihar, at Indraprasth. And he has been also in charge, not just of the quality movement, but from a clinical governance perspective. And he has got a fascinating presentation to all of you of quality beyond accreditation. So this is something which Dr. Reddy, when he came back from the United States, and he is definitely the godfather when we talk about the so-called corporate movement in India. But the word corporate is somehow abused to a great extent. It's just private enterprise, that maximum efficiency of capital in healthcare. So Dr. Reddy's great vision was to ensure, and he always keeps saying that his heartbreak moment when he came back to India was to see a child who required pediatric cardiac surgery, could not afford to go to Denton Cooley in the United States those days, in somewhere in mid-80s. And the child passed away in front of his eyes. That trigger of that moment, the doctor-patient relationship, has created a world-class enterprise like Apollo Hospitals. So folks like Anupam is going to share the experience of the Apollo mantra of quality beyond accreditation. So